So first off, I wanted to start off by telling y'all how much YouTubers like Nurbit, Mitten Squad, and Jabo have been such a huge inspiration to me in the making of this video. This is the first time I've ever done a challenge run like this in any game, and I know this has been done before by Nurbit, and I highly recommend you checking his video out. That said, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only the Recharger Rifle? First, let's start off by laying down the ground rules. I can only use the Recharger Rifle to deal damage to enemies, no companions, no glitches or exploits. I must play on very hard difficulty at all times. I must use hardcore mode, and lastly, no console commands unless needed to fix bugs. To start things off, I get shot in the head, wake up in Doc Mitchell's house, name my character appropriately, make the man that haunts my dreams stand up slightly too fast, and then finally assign my special stats. For my special stats, I decided to go with 6 in strength for carrying capacity because of my plutonium nose, 9 in perception because that nose can smell an enemy from a mile away, 6 in endurance because my oxygen intake is like a Hoover vacuum, 1 in charisma because that's a face only a mother can love, 8 in intelligence because nose make brain very oxygenated, 1 in agility because my nose is always bumping into everything, and finally 9 in luck because I'm gonna need it. For tag skills, I decided to go with energy weapons because weapon make energy, repair for better repairs and to counteract a trait I'll take later, and lastly survival to make food items heal more. For traits, I decided to go with Built to Destroy for more critical chance and Logan's Loophole because chems. From here, I double check that the difficulty is on very hard, activate hardcore mode, then drop all DLC items except my trusty Vault 13 canteen, and then proceed to loot anything of value from Doc Mitchell's house. From here, I decided to go on my way, rob the Goodsprings of all of its sunset sarsaparilla, shoot some bottles because they looked at me funnel, sniff the Joe Cobb's sweet succulent neck, agreed to help Ringo before robbing him blind of everything he owns, and starting Ghost Town gunfight. From here, I kick around a tumbleweed before speaking to Sunny Smiles. I fail to convince Trudy to help, however. From here, I then convince Easy Pete to let me borrow some of his dynamite. Then I speak with Ringo one last time before hiding behind a wagon, letting Sunny Smiles and Ringo do all the work while being confused by what the dog doing, gaining easy, free caps and experience. From here, I get my first level up, and I put everything into energy weapons, grabbing the confirmed Bachelor perk for 10% more damage to male enemies. Then I proceeded to first loot, then sell everything to Chet, before slowly making my way towards Prim, where I am then attacked by an NCR soldier because I forgot to take off my disguise. I then marked the Mojave outpost to fast travel to later on for repairs, get murdered several times trying to make my way to Nipton, more times than I care to admit, before finally speaking with a furry in football gear. From here, I get kneecapped by a tire iron, before finally refining the Recharger Rifle and deciding to help the roaming caravan deal with Legion recruits. It is at this point I should tell you all that this is not the first time I attempted this challenge run. Originally, this run was going to be can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only the recharger pistol, but it wasn't until I was about 70% of the way through the challenge run that I realized that all of my footage was borked and I couldn't use any of it. It was also around this time through the challenge I decided I wasn't going through the entirety of the Honest Hearts DLC again with only the recharger pistol, seeing that the only two guaranteed spawn locations are from that DLC. So I decided to settle on this instead, which from what I can tell was considerably harder as it is essentially just a recharger pistol with less ammunition capacity, less damage, and a slightly higher critical multiplier. To say that a base damage of 12 without the ability to improve upon it by obtaining better ammunition for it is laughable would be an understatement, however. From here, I marked Nipted on the map, helped Boone for a fancy hat, died multiple times to Vipers, get distracted vaporizing ants, before finally marking the 188 trading post on the map for later. It was then a quick jog to the gun runners. I said hello to the local free side, watched the kid eat a rat off the pavement, and then proceeded to gamble my problems away at the Atomic Wrangler. I then passed a credit check, got solicited by a robot before finally sniffing out Benny. It is from here I decided to gamble because I have a problem. I then managed to get banned again from another casino and use all the money I earned to purchase the Mark II combat armor, which I will be using for the rest of the game. From here, I made my way back to the tops to show what I think of checkered suits, and then I died. On my second attempt, I popped a stealth boy, so I would only pull the chairman in the front of the lobby. Mission Impossible the guards, proceeded to vaporize Benny, grabbing the platinum chip, and finally making my way to Yes Man. It was from here I traveled to Hidden Valley, killed a few bark scorpions along the way, before making my way into the Brotherhood bunker and died. Like a lot. I tried over and over and over again, but the paladins are all in power armor and wielding Gauss rifles that can one-shot me. I tried hiding behind crates. I tried using every healing item and him I can think of, but in the end, I just couldn't do it. That said, the stubborn person that I am, I decided to instead go grab Veronica because there is no way I was letting the Brotherhood slap a collar on me, thus failing the challenge and proving that I cannot beat Fallout New Vegas with only a Charger rifle. Or did I? In the spirit of the no companions rule is simply to prevent me from using companions to circumvent combat. And because Veronica never attacked or killed anything, and I dismissed her as soon as I got in the bunker, did I really fail? Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. After speaking with the Brotherhood of Steel, I got distracted by whatever this thing was doing, and then made my way to Nellis. I then convinced George to hand over his cabs, and then died to the Boomer's artillery bombardment. On my second attempt, I took cover in some bombed out buildings, got disappointed at the Boomer at the gate is essential, and can't be damaged or killed. Proceeded to give Pearl laser hair removal, failed to sneak my way out of Nellis and opted to run instead, before finally making my way out with all of my fingers. It was from here on my way to the Great Khans that I ended up being ambushed by fiends, which I barely managed to kill. I then proceeded to get ambushed again by even more fiends not even 30 seconds later. I ran for my life, and proceeded to get attacked by fire kickers as well, just my luck. And I ended up burning through all of my healing supplies before finally making my way to the Great Khans with 2 broken arms and a crippling headache. From here I went to Doc Mitchell to get him to patch me up, headed to the 188 for supplies and the Mojave outpost to repair my gear, failed to pickpocket my cat's back, so I get angry and give Major Knight laser hair removal before loading a quick save, spoke with Mortimer at the White Glove Society before making my way to the Omertas. Fighting the Omertas was brutal. For starters, each of them, despite having low HP and damage threshold, there's just too many to fight all at once, and their 22 submachine guns just chew right through my HP like it's non-existent. What eventually allowed me to beat them, however, was a combination of using the fountain near the entrance and utilizing the load door mechanics. For whatever reason, the Omertas were incapable of following me outside onto the strip. I don't know why that is the case, however, but it gave me just enough of an edge to put the Omertas down, but not without snorting through all of my healing supplies. From here, it was a quick trick around the Mojave for supplies. I proceeded to kill Mr. House before he even had a chance to open his pod and sniff his beans. I then spoke with Yes Man, telling him everything I've done before uploading him into Mr. House's Samsung smart fridge. Let President Kimball get assassinated, snuck into the El Dorado substation with a disguise before finally finding a slightly irradiated pocket of land and sniffed up all that sweet, sweet irradiated air, because around this point I had unlocked Brad Child. Then I spoke with Yes Man yet again and started the second battle of Hoover Dam. Now, I tried my absolute hardest here to fight the Legion Praetorians, but with their strong armor and extremely high damage, I might as well have been shooting spitballs at them. So I ran right past them, threw up a thingamahickey, used a disguise to lie my way into the control room and upload Yes Man. Ran as fast as I could out towards the Legion camp while everyone was distracted, and finally made it inside. Now, the Praetorians themselves were a joke. Although they dealt a huge amount of damage and soaked up more damage than a 1996 Toyota Corolla, all you have to do is walk backwards slowly and occasionally press A to sidestep their attacks. Do this long enough and you will eventually die. On my second attempt, I did the exact same plan, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I successfully killed him after spending 10 minutes running in circles like a chicken with its head cut off. I then managed to make my way to Lake Atlantis, and surprise, surprise, it did not go well at all. In fact, I died here more times than I probably have ever died in New Vegas in my entire time ever playing the game. To say this fight was hard was an absolute understatement. You see, even hiding up on this rock that nobody can get to, I was still being shot at from all sides by high-caliber rifles. And I didn't even put a dent in the Leggett's health. After enough failed attempts, I finally decided that I should probably reload an earlier save. I leveled up a few more times to reach my speech skill to 70 and grabbed a magazine. I then proceeded through the entire Battle of Hoover Dam all over again, just to get back to the fight with Leggett Lanius and convince him to fight me one-on-one. Even when it was all said and done, it still took me 20 minutes and every single repair kit I had to finally put the Leggett down. And when I finally did, the recharger rifle was only a few shots away from fully breaking. Afterwards, I then donned the Leggett's mask and found out that it was incapable of containing such a powerful nose. Proceeded to tell General Wait and see Oliver to screw off, snorted every consumable item I had, and proving that, yes, you can indeed beat Fallout New Vegas with only the recharger rifle.